Greetings, my name is Neosekken, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play of Higurashi When They Cry, Chapter 4. Now, if you're just rejoining me from the end of my Let's Play of Higurashi When They Cry, Chapter 3, welcome back. Otherwise, if you're just joining me for a Higurashi Let's Play anything for the first time, I got one simple question for you. What are you doing here? Go back and watch Chapter 1, or go play it for yourself, whichever is your preference. Because, well, spoilers for everything that's come before now. Those are going to be spoken about from this point onward. So if you don't want to be spoiled for the rest of the story prior to this point, this is the only warning you're going to get from me. Are we clear? Good. So, that being said, Chapter 3. That chapter ended on a huge tragic note. And I mean huge compared to the first two chapters. I mean, it just blew those two right out of the damn water of how freaking sucky everything ended for everybody. And I do mean everybody. And everything, for that matter. At least in Hinamizawa. Because, well, everybody died. Everybody died. Because volcanic gases are a bitch. And that's not getting to all the rest of the freaking mind screw that was the whole freaking chapter before then. Especially once things really started going downhill. When Keiichi decided to handle an abusive situation in a very direct and extreme manner, let's say. I'm still trying to wrap my head around a lot of the mysteries that Chapter 3 has given me, and that, along with the mysteries of the first two chapters before that. But Chapter 3 is the one nut that is proving to be the hardest for me to crack, overall, compared to the first two chapters. Even though I haven't solved all the mysteries in those chapters either. Which is really saying something, I think, because I thought that the questions that the first two chapters presented were pretty big head-scratchers all on their own. And then, pretty much the entire half of Chapter 3 occurred, and it was like, ha, hold my beer. And it made me hold it real tight. So, Chapter 4. According to a viewer of mine who commented on one of my earlier videos in the early chapters, in Chapter 3, I think it was. The name of Chapter 4, its name I freaking forget right now, literally translates to something of the effect of time-wasting chapter. Because originally, as was basically alluded to at the end of the cast review of Chapter 3, this chapter wasn't supposed to exist initially. It's basically filler content before we move on to the answer arcs, which will be Chapter 5 onward. Now, I don't know what Chapter 4 is going to bring to the table that will be meaningful in any way to the overall narrative, because, well, again, it's in the damn name. It's time wasting. Maybe it will introduce. Maybe it will bring something worthwhile. I don't know yet. There's only one way to find out, right? So I'm going to go ahead, make sure my configurations are exactly the way I want them. It looks like it. And we're going to go ahead and get started. Chapter 4, here we come. Himatsubushi, for you, the final mystery. Time-killing chapter. Time-killing chapter. There we go. I now entrust you with all the mysteries hidden within Higurashi When They Cry. However comical it may be, if you have reached any conjecture, then you have passed. This final novel is a meager reward for you. Conjecture is impossible. Conjecture, excuse me. You have the right to reject this story. Well, you heard them. I have the right to reject this story if I so want to. It's just time-killing, It's basically meant to be filler because, according to the same person who let me know about this chapter's name, this chapter was originally made because the people who made Higurashi didn't know if the answer arcs would sell well or not. So, yeah, they made this chapter as, well, an appetizer of sorts, just to test the waters, to see whether or not it would actually sell well. I don't quite remember the details. I really should get my notes together on this stuff here. Not that I have notes, but I really wish I could remember this stuff more clearly when I really need to. It's frustrating as hell. But anyway. Well, like I said, if this chapter is going to have anything meaningful and useful to the overall narrative, I guess there's only one way we're going to find out. And if it doesn't, then, well, the little text here pretty much says that I have the right to reject this story. So, no harm, no foul, right? Let's do this. Will you kids stop laughing at me? Who is the criminal, you ask? Don't we search for them in this story? Who is the criminal, you ask? Do you even know what the criminal did? Who is the criminal? Who is the criminal who will kill me now? Frederica Bernkastel. Midsummer, 1985. That's a lot of empty seats. I misread the time and ended up arriving too early. The schedule board flipped with a series of clacks. One of the things that was also talked about in the cast interview of Chapter 3 was apparently Shion is going to be the protagonist of the next arc. Or, well, at least the next chapter of the answer arcs. And we've already kind of established that this chapter I'm playing right now is basically a filler arc between then. So what I want to know is, am I still playing as Keiichi? My flight to Sapporo was still a bit later on. I still had over an hour before boarding. Well, I might as well close my eyes for a bit on that bench over there then. I came here directly from work, so maybe the fatigue from that was making me sleepy. Finding a suitable bench, I put my luggage on the seat next to me and settled down. Akasaka. I sighed like an old man. I had hopes to stay young forever, but had become splendidly middle-aged. Apparently the rumor that even people in the later half of their 20s experience a decline in their physical strength wasn't a lie. I don't know, so far I've yet to feel that at myself. It had been mind-numbingly busy at work lately, so I rarely had any time to myself. This might have been the first time I'd been able to enjoy a journey alone like this since I was a student. The reason behind this trip was to meet with an old friend. It was a bit strange to call him an old friend. In fact, it might be better to call him a bad one. If he's a bad friend, why meet up with them? Personally, I wouldn't want to meet up with people I consider to be bad friends. In fact, I wouldn't even be friends with them to begin with in that case. You're already a strange man. After retiring a couple of years ago, he moved to Sapporo, his mother's hometown. His mother passed away soon after, and he was now peacefully enjoying his second lease on life. This sounds familiar. Some guy moving to Sapporo to live with his mom. His mom died. Have I heard that before? His name was Kurata Ushi. Yeah, it was him. It was him. Now I remember. He was a former detective from the Primary Investigation Unit at the station Okinomiya, XX Prefecture. To be honest, the only direct contact we ever had didn't last more than 3 days. After that, we exchanged New Year's cards, but never met again. And you consider yourself his friend. So this will be the first time meeting him in 7 years. In other words, we met 7 years ago, in 1978. There was something I just had to ask, to talk to him about concerning that time. Wait a minute, 1978. That's the first year of the curse, right? Which started with the murder of the dam foreman? To explain that, it was impossible not to recall the incident that happened back then. A kidnapping, the details and resolution of which were resigned to darkness. Also, it was impossible not to recall a certain mysterious girl. My name is Mamoru Akasaka. It was a year that had been strangely hot, even though it was only June. Early summer 1978. Flashback time!
Sensei, sayonara!
Goodbye, teacher.
はい、さようなら。
Okay, bye.
車に気をつけるんですよ。
Watch out for cars.
お友達の家に寄り道なんかしないように。
And don't drop in at a friend's house along the way.
明日の教科書の準備は必ず寝る前にしておくんですよ。
Screw you, Teach. Me and a friend of mine have a little party, have a little game session to attend to. We won't let you get in the way of that. Make sure you get your textbooks in order for tomorrow before you go to bed. Clatter, clatter, clatter. The lively sounds of children running towards the hallway.
でさ、
Oh,
してんだぜ。
we're in Okinomiya. Hey now, didn't I tell you before?
そんなの俺持ってるわよ。
I already have one of those.
いらねえよ。
I don't need any more. The unique high-pitched voice of youth. The energetic shrill of the cicadas went completely unheard by their ears. Children, returning home from school, split off one by one from their groups of friends as they went through intersections in the residential area. Even though there were several of them in a group as they left the school, as they got closer to their homes, their numbers dwindled. That's why the fewer friends you were walking home with acted as an indicator that you're that much closer to your destination.
じゃあな。
Later!
あばよ。
See ya!
うん。また明日ね。
Yeah, see you tomorrow. He finally parted ways with his last friend. A van was parked at a bend in the road. The window was open, the sound of the radio leaking outside. It must have been the news or something.
たため、道路交通法違反、公務執行妨害で3名を逮捕しました。
For that reason, the three of them were arrested for traffic violations and obstruction of justice.
一連のひなみざわダム建設反対をめぐる運動は、先月の機動隊との流血事件を境に過激化の一途をたどっており、
Then it's gotta be around that time when the dam foreman was murdered. Are we actually going to see, at least be present for when the incident takes place, even if we don't actually see it firsthand? That'll be interesting. Due to the protests against the Hinamizawa Dam project resulting in bloodshed when clashing with riot police last month, things have only become more violent.
警察では過激な活動家による次の事件を警戒しています。
I bet Mion's doing a great job right now wrecking some construction equipment. The little green-haired tyrant. And yes, no, I guess she's not really a tyrant. Or actually, yes, she is, because she is the future president of the club. She is basically the queen. Therefore, tyrant! The police are therefore taking precautions against radical activists, causing yet another incident.
先週も建設省庁舎前での犬飼建設大臣への直訴事件があったばかりで
Last week, there was also a direct confrontation with Minister Inugai on the steps of the Ministry of Construction. At that moment, a man's face peeked out suddenly from the window of the van. His behavior was a little different than that of a man looking around to see if there was any incoming traffic before he opened the door of his vehicle. His eyes meeting suddenly with the unfamiliar man, the boy panicked slightly.
Uguis OK.
Nightingale, okay.
Hibari OK.
Skylark, okay.
前後2ブロック確保した。
They've secured the 2 blocks around us.
いいぞ。
We're good to go. The man in the passenger's seat whispered quietly. Nodding in acknowledgement, the man opened the door and stood before the boy.
君、犬飼俊樹君?
You. Are you Toshiki Inugai-kun? While asking that, the man peered at the boy's name tag. Toshiki Inugai. The name was written plainly there. Who's Toshiki? The phone rang for a 3rd time. If he reached out, he could easily pick up the receiver. However, he was concerned that if he picked it up before it had even finished ringing once, whoever was on the other end of the line would think him a fairly cheap person. That's why he normally never picked up the phone until the 3rd ring. How many people actually think like that if you just answer on the 1st ring? That you're a cheap person? It's odd. Even he thought it was a worthless habit. However, his thinking that there isn't much meaning in waiting for just 3 rings, wouldn't waiting for 5 be alright, was very much a reality. His mind filled with such trifling thoughts, he picked up the phone after the 3rd ring had finished, its reverb dampened by his action.
はい。
Yes.
もしもし。
Hello.
もしもし。
Hello. He knew that sometimes due to a malfunction at the switchboard, calls didn't connect well. At those times, it was best to hang up and let the person on the other end call again. Thinking that, the moment he began to hang up the phone, he sensed that he was definitely connected after all. He felt the presence of the person on the other end of the line, keeping silent.
もしもし。
Hello? There was no way they didn't hear his question. What was the meaning of this? It wasn't like he didn't know that people could use silent calls to harass others. However, he never received a call like that until today. Maybe he was just lucky before, but he didn't believe that he would receive such a call on this phone. There were no direct calls to or from this line. Everything had to go through an operator. Therefore, there was absolutely no way the call would be connected unless it was verified there was somebody else on the other end of the line. That's why he didn't understand how to deal with this silent call, and instead settled into confusion.
あんた、誰だか知らないが、用がないなら切るよ。
I don't know who you are, but if you have nothing to say, I'm going to hang up.
また、かけ直してください。
Please call again some other time. Intending that to be a parting line, he made to slam down the receiver. It was at that moment the person on the other end spoke for the first time. Saw that coming. Oh, a kidnap! Oh yeah, that's right. They did talk about kidnapper, didn't they? Before the flashback. You didn't say who you were, so I was anxious. Oh, they kidnapped his kid. That's... well. If you're not Mr. Inugai, please hang up right away. You couldn't help but be surprised by the extremely strange voice on the other end of the line. Was there a human alive who could speak with this hoarse and metallic voice? No. This was a voice he had heard somewhere before. That was the kind of voice that was on those lowbrow documentaries that they'd use when they wanted to hide the identity of a speaker, wasn't it? The voice he was hearing over the line was exactly like that.
Anta, dare?
Who are you? As I said, that's what I want to ask. Are you Mr. Inugai? He, Inugai, hesitated to answer. Unable to discern the intent of the suspicious phone call, he had a vague feeling that something was off. He thought about hanging up the phone and asking the operator who initiated the call. However, he forced himself to restrain that urge, and for the time being, chose to state his name and listen.
そうです。
That's right.
犬飼です。
This is Inugai.
名乗りましたよ。だから、あんたも名乗ってくださいよ。
I said my name. Now you say yours.
私の名前なんてどうでもいいんです。
My name doesn't matter. Because I have no name. Only a number.
まず、
And
あなたがどういう立場に置かれているか、それを認識するところから始めましょう。
And just stopped at the first line. First of all, let's begin by thinking about the situation you're in right now.
あなたは今、自分の席で電話をしていますね。
Right now, you're sitting in your chair talking on the phone, yes? No, I'm doing a handstand on my phone. On my phone while talking into the chair.
では、あなたの席の右側の一番下の引き出しを開けてみてください。
Then, why don't you try opening the lower drawer to your right? The lowest drawer to the right of the minister's chair. There was a lock on it. Not enough to function as a safe, but nevertheless it was a drawer that contained some valuable things. That's why Inugai thought that the person wanted some of the important information contained within that drawer.
すまんが、開けるつもりはないよ。
Sorry, but I don't have any intention of opening that.
自分の名前も名乗れんやつの言いなりになる言われはない。
I have no reason to follow orders from somebody who won't even give me his name.
引き出しを開けてくれないなら、この電話を切ります。
If you don't open that drawer, I'll hang up the phone.
と、後悔することになりますよ。
You will most likely end up regretting that.
まずは引き出しを開けてから考えてもいいんじゃないですか？
Why don't you think about opening that drawer first? Give him a good reason. Inugai didn't like following orders from a suspicious person one bit. However, he was concerned about what the man said about regretting it, so he decided to open the drawer. He took the small key he kept stowed in his wallet and unlocked the drawer. His hand stopped right before he opened it. What if there was a bomb inside? And it would explode if the drawer was opened. That delusion took hold of him. He quelled that instinct and opened it.
開けてくれましたか？
Did you do it?
そこにあるものが何かわかりますよね。
The thing that's in there, do you know what it is?
これはどういうことだ？
This is... What is the meaning of this?
おい、
Hey!
どういうことか説明する必要なんかないですよね。
I don't think there's any need for me to explain, is there?
時間を差し上げますので、少しお考えください。
I'll give you some time, so please think about it a little.
また後ほどこちらから連絡いたします。
I'll contact you again later.
それでは失礼。
Now then, pardon me.
おい
Hey!
待て
Wait!
もしもし
Hello?
もしもし
Hello? The call had already ended. That would not change no matter how much he yelled at it. Even still, Inugai, without realizing that, continued yelling into the receiver for a while. The drawer was still open. On top of the folders crammed into the drawer, it lay there. Toshiki Inugai. Written in plain lettering on a grade schooler's name tag. Just lying there. Enshrined there, completely out of place, as if it were cowering. This story is a work of fiction. I would sure hope so, because an actual Hinamizawa disaster in real life would be really unfortunate. Oh, finally, a new song for the opening. I definitely saw a lot of interesting things in that opening, including a blonde kid with red eyes being in Keiichi's place in a few CG pieces that I remember seeing in Chapter 2. Blonde guy with red eyes, not unlike that of Satoko, so it makes me wonder. Satoshi, maybe? Is that him? Do you remember, Yuki? This picture. This is where I first proposed to you. A brief moment before you nodded back. You probably wouldn't know just how much it seemed like an eternity to me. Yes. I would have never thought that amount of time could feel like an eternity. Compared to how long I had to wait for you to propose to me, it was... From the moment I met you until today, compared to the time I've spent since I was born, it might only be a brief period, but... They were definitely precious, beautiful days that deserved to be called an eternity. That time continues even now. From now on, wonder if it'll be a boy. Or maybe a girl. Either one is fine. Oh, you're expecting. Congratulations. Boy or girl. Either way, it's living proof that we love each other. If it's a boy, we'll name it after you. Mamoru. If it's a girl, we'll put the Yuki from my name in hers. Thinking about names is so fun that in the end we still haven't decided yet. There's still time to puzzle over it. Not that long of a time, actually. You see, Yuki. Or is it Yukie? There's something I have to apologize for today. It's about your job. Sorry. It looks like an annoying bit of work has come up. In the worst case, I might not be there for delivery. That fucking blows. If that ends up happening, it's fine. You have a very important job. What you do protects the way we live. Compared to you, it's nothing. Please, go ahead. When you return, I'll be waiting here with our child. Thank you. Also, I'm sorry. Please don't apologize. If you feel guilty about it, then you can just atone. If I atone that much, no matter how much money I have, it won't be enough. Hehe. It's a joke. Now, go on. As I left the room, I bumped into an elderly man. It was Yukie's father. In other words, my father-in-law. Father. I didn't want to intrude. So I waited in the hall. I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but I've heard. Go. Yukie is that kind of girl. No matter what happens, she doesn't want to hold you back. I've forced Yukie to give up on so many things. To put her through this during childbirth, such an important time in her life. I'm ashamed. If you really feel that way, when you're done with your work, make some time for Yukie. She'll be happier with that than you passing your work off on someone else. Thank you. I know full well you do important work. Be proud in what you do. Yukie is looking forward to your triumphant return. Yes. I jumped into the taxi that was waiting outside. Compared to the time when I first got here, the number of cars on the fare meter had grown considerably. It seemed the modest time Yukie and I had spent together wasn't so modest from an objective point of view. Sorry to keep you waiting. Go ahead. No worries. Well then, off we go. The taxi jerked as it changed gears to accelerate, soon burying the hospital my wife was in behind a throng of buildings. If it was to end up as a really troublesome ordeal, I probably won't be returning for quite some time. To call a rookie like me, and on top of that, one who's off duty. It seems like the section chief was calling for all hands on deck. The veteran upper brass gathering on an emergency basis happened occasionally. This is the first time, though, that I experienced everybody gathering together like this. Whatever was happening, there was no doubt it was going to be something novel. Right when my wife was ready to give birth. If I wanted to spend the time to curse my misfortunes, I'd be here all day. Even the verdant ginkgo trees, lining the street that always brightened my mood, seemed to lack some of their usual luster. Eventually, the government office came into view. Briefly holding my breath, I let the feelings of tension course through my body once again. I had to remember the work I was doing was important, necessary, and difficult. I composed myself and sharpened my wit. Ready. The taxi stopped in front of the building. Kasumiya Gaseki, Tokyo, Metropolitan Police Department Public Safety Division.
市長、全員揃いました。
Chief, everyone's here.
赤坂君、ブラインドを下ろしてくれる？
Akasaka-kun, could you close the blinds? The blinds were usually closed when I needed to use the projector, or if the discussion was going to contain some particularly disturbing content. Nice transition effect. The blinds closed with a satisfying sound, darkening the interior of the room. More like it took all the color out of it. Immediately, the inside of the room was completely drained of the pleasant morning atmosphere, leaving behind only the cold illumination of the fluorescent lighting. After the supervisor ensured that everyone was present, he nodded to the second chief once again. With everybody on the edge of their seats, the chief stood up solemnly and began to give his report.
推定48時間前、建設大臣の孫にあたる建設省幹部の子息が誘拐された模様です。
Approximately 48 hours ago, the Minister of Construction's grandson, who is also the son of one of his staff leaders, is believed to have been kidnapped.
建設大臣は事態を穏便に済ませるため、警察へ通報せず要求に応じるものと思われます。
It is believed the minister, in an effort to resolve matters amicably, chose not to report the situation to the police and plans to cede the demands imposed upon it. I think I now remember. Back in Chapter 2, there was I think it was during Mion's discussion with Keiichi and Reina at her estate when they went to confront her for her crimes. Wasn't one of the things that she mentioned during her talk of all the history of Hinamizawa and, well, all the stuff that she personally ended up doing during the Dam Wars and all that? I think it's possible I might be misremembering when the discussion occurred, but I think I'm pretty positive that at some point in Chapter 2, there was discussion of the Sonozaki family supposedly having a role in the kidnapping of some kid who was related to a figure that was related to the dam construction project. This must be that incident that they were talking about. So, are we gonna finally confirm whether or not Sonozaki was actually involved? Anyway, it is believed the minister, in an effort to resolve matters amicably, chose not to report the situation to police and plans to cede to the demands imposed upon him. it seemed that approximately 48 hours earlier, the Minister of Construction's grandson and those of his senior staff members were kidnapped. The reason why it was phrased that way was because the person in question didn't admit it had happened.
大臣宅の通話を監視した結果、都外からと思われる不審な電話が数件確認されました。
Based on the results of surveillance conducted on the minister's residence, multiple suspicious phone calls from what is believed to be outside the city took place.
誘拐された子供は病気療養中となっているが、通院の形跡はなく、周辺での目撃例もなく。
The abducted child is said to be under treatment for some illness, but there's no trace of any hospital records or witnesses to such effect.
その他いくつかの理由から、事件発生は間違いないものと断定しました。
Due to that and various other reasons, we believe without a doubt that a kidnapping has occurred. Here, they omitted the details that brought this incident to light. If you think about it a bit, that meant that before this incident happened, the minister's residence had been under surveillance already. I want to use the word spied upon. I wonder why. Why he was already under surveillance, I mean. Of course, there wouldn't have been court approval for this. It would have been very hard to explain to ordinary citizens, probably because of all the Hinamizawa anti-dam activists and all the crazy shenanigans they're doing. They're probably having to place his place under surveillance in case somebody from Hinamizawa comes over and decides they want to cause some trouble. That would make sense. However, it was quite an effective method to catch wind of incidents like this before they got worse. I'd like for you to understand that dealing with these cases before they become a problem is the job of the Public Safety Division.
なぜ警察に通報せず要求を鵜呑みに?
Why is he just following their demands instead of reporting this to police?
大臣たる者が警察を信用できないってんだから。世も末だね。
The fact that a minister can't even trust the police. What is the world coming to?
犯人グループは誘拐初期に自分たちが大臣の生活をかなり高度に監視していることを警告し、その証拠を示した様子です。
It seems the group of perpetrators demonstrated that they have quite a high level of surveillance on the minister themselves when they conducted the kidnappings.
大臣が屈服し、警察への通報も思いとどまるほどの何かですね。
Enough to give the minister pause before calling the police.
警察へ通報してもすぐにわかるぞって?
We'll find out right away if you call the cops, more or less.
大臣の近辺に内通者がいる可能性。
So it's possible there's a mole close to the minister. I was just about to propose that theory. Several of the higher-ranking members who seem to have experience with this kind of thing let out deep sighs.
犯人グループの目的が要求にあるのか、事件そのものにあるのかは不明ですが。
The goals of the perpetrators, their demands, as well as this entire incident are as of yet unclear.
いずれにせよ、国益を脅かす事態に発展する可能性が極めて高い。
But in any case, the possibility that this may grow to threaten national interests is extremely high. If their goal was to simply have their demands met for monetary gain, that would have been nice. However, if this was some politically motivated shakeup, things would get a lot more complicated.
被害者の協力がないということは、脅迫内容も要求も一切不明ということか。
Since we're not receiving any cooperation from the victim, that means that we're not privy to any of the details of the threats or demands.
本件は内通者の水準がかなり高いと思われるため、当室のみの極秘捜査とします。
Due to the fact that we believe there may be a mole involved in this incident, this investigation is highly classified. Only the people in this room are to know of this.
また本件は本日より最優先事項となり、これまでの通常業務を一時凍結して対応します。
Furthermore, as this case is our utmost priority, we'll be placing a hold on everybody's normal duties.
よろしいですね。
Understood. After that, the supervisor continued on, tactfully explaining our course of action. If this incident were to become public, it was possible that the minister's political life would be over. Maybe that's the goal of the kidnappers. I'll spare you the explanation of how the rest of the dominoes would fall, but in the end, support in the Diet would decline, followed by a no-confidence vote in a snap election, and might even expand communist influences. In other words, we want to handle this delicately.
Kawasaki と佐伯は大臣宅、子供宅の通話を24時間監視。
Kawasaki and Saiki monitor communications from the minister and the child's residences 24/7.
大臣の動向を探れ。
Find out what the minister is doing.
動きがあるたびに逐一報告せよ。
Report anything that happens.
残る各職員は担当団体ごとに本件との関連を調査。
The remaining members investigate whatever is related to the case as assigned to your units.
最近動きが不穏な特殊ラインは集中的にやれ。
Focus your line of investigation on the commies, Reds, and Confeds.
それから外国勢力も水を漏らすな。
Don't discount the possibility of foreign involvement either. You're covering all your bases, aren't you? I experienced one or two unamicable situations before. This, however, was the first time I've seen things get so hectic. Several sophisticated conversations were progressing without the involvement of a rookie like me. I didn't intend to be timid, but I couldn't hide my confusion at this unfamiliar situation.
では、書き打ちに行ってくれ。
And cover that.
で、赤坂君は。
As for Akasaka-kun, I snapped back to alertness upon hearing my name called.
はい。
Yes!
赤坂君は、大臣に陳情してきた環境保護団体関連を調査してくれ。
You investigate the environmental groups that have petitioned the minister.
中でも、新聞でも騒ぎになってるHinamizawaダム建設反対の団体をよく調査すること。
Among them, there's that group protesting the Hinamizawa Dam project that made the papers. Make sure you investigate them thoroughly.
住民団体の仕業とは到底思えないが、すべての可能性を潰していかなくてはならない。
I doubt this was the act of some citizen group, but we have to eliminate every possibility we can.
わかりました。
Understood.
Hinamizawaダム反対か。
So those opposed to the Hinamizawa Dam.
直接現地へ行った方がいいだろう。
It's probably best if you go to the location personally.
現地県警で情報を取れ。
Get some information from the local authorities.
かなり過激な団体らしく、向こうの公安でもマークしてるらしいぞ。
So, you're going to Hinamizawa right around the time when shit starts hitting the fan and the curse begins, huh? Now I'm actually starting to worry that somehow you're not going to come back from this, and you're going to end up leaving your wife and newborn child all alone. No way! Why am I thinking that? We already have a freaking... This is a flashback to that time. Obviously you're alive. You lived to tell the tale, and are still living. Come on, Neo, get your damn timeline straight. They're a fairly radical organization, so the Public Safety Division there should have them marked as well.
わかりました。
Understood.
現地へ出港します。
I'll head over there.
奥さん、出産控えてるんだって？
Your wife. She's almost ready to give birth, isn't she?
こんなタイミングで申し訳ないけど、協力頼むよ。
I apologize for the timing of all of this, but I'm counting on your cooperation. As if an apology would make up for this.
時間がかけられないから、人海戦術で総当たりで行くしかないんだ。
We can't take our time with this, so we just have to brute force it with our boots to the ground.
ええ、わかってます。
Yeah, I know.
家内も自分の都合が私の仕事に触ることを嫌いますから。
My wife hates to interfere with my work with her own circumstances anyways.
すまん、ありがとう。
Sorry. And thanks.
それから、川崎くん、佐伯くん、君たちの応援には。
So then, as for Kawasaki-kun and Saiki-kun, to help support your... I didn't want to take a business trip when my wife was about to give birth. Even if I was a little busy, as long as I was in Tokyo, I could head to the hospital right away. Assignment, though. That would be difficult. Fight the system! Sneak to the hospital! Obviously, I don't recommend that. You'll end up you'd undoubtedly end up losing your job, but still. Like, come on. What a really sucky thing to have to deal with. To, well, be sent away on assignment right as you're about to, well, have your child born into the world. Even so, I knew the work I was doing was important, and fully understood that I was in no position to be so selfish. It's alright to be a little selfish about someone like this, man. I'd have to make it up to my wife for having to be away at such an important time. My wife, Yukie, would probably forgive me with a smile. The only thing she could hate doing would be holding me back. My male ego, though, at least wished she would have tried to stop me. Sorry, Yukie. I don't mind if you always complain to our child that their father couldn't come to the hospital when they were born because he was too busy with work. The next day, I took the bullet train to Nagoya, and from there, transferred to the train to XX Prefecture. Getting to my destination by land took several hours. If I was traveling by air, in that amount of time I could probably get as far as Hong Kong. Prefecture was by no means close. I never sat in first class except for work, but whenever I did, the seat seemed stiff. Closing my eyes, I mentally reviewed the documents I read yesterday. The group under investigation, the Onigafuchi Defense Alliance. They were a group of residents opposed to the development proposed under the Hinamizawa Dam project. The local protests were quite heated and were getting more radicalized. Even limited to what was written in the newspapers, there was bloodshed that occurred during a clash with riot police, interference with the dam construction. Too many to count. I also just had another thought. If this is largely just going to be a flashback episode of sorts, we're not going to have to worry about the whole time loop thing that I think is going on with the previous chapters, are we? Which I guess would honestly be nice. I mean, hey, it's nice to actually see a different part of the story altogether. Or rather, a different point in the story, I should say, not a different part, because all the stories in the previous 3 chapters were largely different. Even limited to what was written in the newspapers, there was bloodshed that occurred during a clash with riot police, interference with the dam construction. Too many to count. The number of petitions, sit-ins, and direct appeals to relevant organizations were innumerable. As an extension of that, there was a direct appeal to the Minister of Construction the other day.
これがそもそも今回この団体を調査することになったゆえんだ。
This was the reason why we were investigating this group in the first place. The land that they lived on was going to be submerged, so it was no wonder they would go into a frenzy over it. Even given that, though, could they really be capable of doing something like kidnapping the Minister of Construction's grandson in order to halt the project? Given what I've seen in Chapter 2, I think it's certainly possible. From my take on it, I had serious doubts. This kidnapping plot was extremely sophisticated, and complicated enough that it was believed there was some political backing. This wasn't something that could be pulled off by some group of local protesters. Well, just as the chief said, the plan was to eliminate all possibilities. While I'm in the X Police's reference room, taking my time investigating, the higher-ups in Tokyo would probably solve the case. Without my involvement entirely. Even if that was true, I couldn't regret being away from Tokyo while my wife was ready to give birth. This was work. There was really nothing that I could do. Ding dong. The announcement that we would be arriving at our destination soon snapped me back to wakefulness. Gokura, XX Prefecture, Prefectural Public Safety Division.
鬼ヶ淵死守同盟ですか?
The Onikafuchi Defense Alliance.
地元ではかなり賑わせているようです。
Yeah, they've been quite active around here. The Prefectural Public Safety Department already had the documents and a cup of tea ready and waiting for me.
早い話がダム反対の住民運動なんですが。
The short of it is they're a group of residents opposed to the dam.
事実上、水没地域の住民すべてが決起したと言っていいでしょうね。
Really, it's probably better to say that every resident living on the land that's going to be submerged is rising to action, though.
死守なんて古風な言い方が示す通り、相当の決意と覚悟を持った連中です。
Like the old saying, fight to the last, they're determined and well prepared a lot.
そこら辺の温和な住民団体とは一線を画すと思っていただいた方がいいですね。
It'd be nice if they drew the line at just being a moderate residential organization. The stack of papers they had prepared for me in the document room was by no means thin.
発足当初はごくごく平均的な住民運動だったんです。
At first, they were pretty much your average citizen's initiative, but...
それがいつだかの流血事件を境に急にヒートアップしまして。
Ever since that incident with the riot police, they've really started to heat up.
今では暴力主義団体か、それに準じるくらいの過激な勢力に成長したと言えますね。
Now they've got a violent mentality, on top of growing increasingly radical. Violent organizations usually indicate ones that enforce their own ideology without regards to the democratic process. Breaking that down, many of those organizations held extreme left revolutionary ideologies. Considering that, I couldn't help but be surprised that a citizens group would end up going this far. Radical citizens movements happen occasionally. It seemed, however, that this group was nothing as trifling as that. It seemed that I would have to reconsider exactly what this Onikafuchi Defense Alliance was.
鬼ヶ淵死守同盟が要求。つまり、ダム計画の撤回を求めるために行い得る活動範囲はどの程度でしょうか?
The Defense Alliance's demand, in other words, the withdrawal from the dam project. How far would they go to have that demand met? The kidnapping of the minister's grandson was classified. That meant, of course, I couldn't tell the XX Prefectural Department about it either.
ご存知の通り、先週あった犬飼建設大臣への直訴事件では逮捕者も出ています。
As you know, there were arrests after last week's confrontation with Mr. Inugai.
危険性は十分にありますね。
There's enough reason to believe they could use illegal means to assert their demands. I skimmed over the list of criminal records related to the Onikafuchi Defense Alliance recorded in the documents. The contents were all violent, not giving me the barest hint of a feeling that these people were trying to uphold the law.
具体的に教えていただけますか?
Could you give me a basic rundown of the types of illegal activities the Onikafuchi Defense Alliance are engaging in? The chief opened up a manila envelope, fished out several unorganized sheets, and spread them out on the desk. Whoops. Ignore that, that was just something that fell.
建設現場への襲撃事件が最も多かったですね。
It seems that raids on the construction site are the most common.
初期の頃、電源コードの切断や錠前の鍵穴に石を詰める、投石による事務所の窓ガラス割り等の軽犯罪が頻発していました。
At first, they were committing relatively petty crimes like cutting power cords, jamming locks, and breaking office windows by throwing rocks. Of course, what really happened first were things like demonstrations, sit-ins, and distribution of pamphlets. Lively but democratic forms of protests. However, then the demonstrators and police clashed, which started a riot, leading to numerous injuries and arrests.
襲撃が度重なれば、地元警察による警備強化がなされるのでは？
It was from then on that the Onikafushi Defense Alliance, like their name implies, began to take a more demonic form of resistance. They probably sent witches! If the raids were frequent, didn't the local police up their patrols?
それは警戒はしたでしょうね。
Well, of course they were on full alert, but...
でもあちらは地元ですから。
They were up against the locals, you know?
闇に乗じて忍び込まれたらお手上げでしょう。
There wasn't much the police could do if they were sneaking around under the cover of darkness. You might as well label the entire map of Hinamizawa village around the damn construction site enemy territory. No matter how alert the police were, the locals would just show them exactly how easy it was to sneak around.
警察が警備を固めてからは、むしろ挑発されたように過激化が進みました。
Actually, it was after the police upped security that the protesters started getting ever more extreme, as though they were being provoked.
ほら、この辺りからだいぶヒートアップしてるのがお分かりになります？
See here. Can you tell how things started to heat up?
事務所の放火。
An office set on fire.
建設重機の破壊工作。
The destruction of heavy construction equipment. Undoubtedly Mion's handiwork.
破壊？
Destruction?
まさか爆弾でも？
They couldn't have used explosives.
いや、まさか。
No way.
連中ですね。タンクに角砂糖を放り込むんですよ。
You see, they crammed the gas tanks full of sugar cubes. Yep, definitely Mion's handiwork.
あれやられたらエンジン焦げついちゃいますから。
If they do that, it fouls the engines. Even in Japan, it seemed there had been people doing that to the vehicles of occupying forces right after the war. Compared to misdemeanors like breaking windows, it was extremely violent and aggressive.
そこまでやられたら、地元警察の面目は丸つぶれですね。
After being toyed around with to that extent, the local police have completely lost face.
放火はさすがにですね。
The arson was a bit much.
それで地元警察が24時間体制の人員を大幅に増員しまして。
After that, the local police drastically increased the number of personnel they had stationed there around the clock.
それで建設現場への襲撃は一段落したようです。
The raids on the construction site quieted down a bit after that. He used the words quieted down, but that was still smack dab in the middle of the list of crimes.
で、連中ですね。
See, after that, they...
現場への直接攻撃が難しくなったとしたら、今度は個人攻撃に切り替えました。
After they found that attacking the site had become difficult, they started resorting to personal attacks.
最初に狙われたのが工事事務所の現場作業者でした。
The first people targeted were the construction workers. After that, there was silence. What was being described to me was a guerrilla war fought in the jungle. Threats and violence against the workers. Harsh words and harsher rocks were thrown.
かなりの告訴がされているのに、逮捕者があまり出ていませんね。
There's quite a list of accusations here, but there's not a whole lot of convictions.
そりゃそうです。
Of course not.
第一、目撃者なんかいないんですから。
First of all, there's no witnesses.
それどころか、現行犯だったにしたって、アリバイがポンポンポンとできちゃうんです。
On top of that, even if we identify the perpetrators, they have alibis coming out of the woodwork.
それはどういうことですか?
What do you mean by that?
例えばですね、あなたがひなみ沢で歩いていて、
Take it for example, you're walking around Hinamizawa.
ある男にナイフで刺されたとします。
When a certain man stabs you with a knife.
あなたは相手をよく覚えていて、名前も住所も特定できてるとします。
You remember the person clearly, and even know his name and address.
ただし、ナイフには指紋がなく、物的証拠だけがない。
However, the knife doesn't have any fingerprints on it, and there's no other physical evidence.
まあ、ありがちな傷害事件だと思うでしょ?
Well, you'd think this would be a run-of-the-mill case of assault, wouldn't you?
でも、ひなみ沢じゃ完全犯罪なんです。
In Hinamizawa, though, it's a perfect crime. Everybody is... The entire village. They're all in on it. To protect the man who was the perpetrator, they'll get their story straight and prepare an alibi. To that end, they'll probably even forge some evidence.
裁判にもつれ込ますほかないわけですが、
There's nothing they can do but put them on trial.
何しろ物的証拠はない上、犯人を隠匿する証言だけは後から増えていく。
On top of there not being any material evidence, though, people testify one after another to cover his side of the story.
検察も書類送検には二の足を踏むわけです。
Any prosecutor would hesitate to file charges.
殺人ならいざ知らず、透析で額を切った、殴られてあざができた程度だと、仮に犯人を特定できたとしても、嫌疑不十分で送検されないことがほとんどです。
I'm not sure about murder, but if it's something like opening a gash on somebody's forehead with a thrown rock, or leaving a bruise after hitting someone, even if you could single out the suspect, there's enough reasonable doubt to not convict. Every case is, without a doubt, perpetrated by someone Hinamizawa, but they can't identify who. Even if they could figure out who it is, they're unable to obtain enough circumstantial evidence through due process. The villagers were all extremely well informed about this, and so the malicious, vicious, and tenacious personal attacks continued.
被害者はそれでは納得できないでしょう。
The victims can't have been okay with that, right? What do you think, genius?
検察審査会に再審請求を出さないのですか?
Couldn't they have filed for an appeal?
それはですね、審査員たちがみんな厄介ごとに巻き込まれたくないと思っているからですよ。
Well, you see, about that, everybody on the inquest committee didn't want to get involved with something so troublesome.
ひなみ沢関係のトラブルには首を突っ込みたがらないんです。
They won't stick their noses into anything related to Hinamizawa. The inquest committee is comprised of a random selection of local residents. In the event of the prosecutor fails to get a conviction, they have the power to order a retrial. It's a system designed to assert the will of the people and the actions of expert prosecutors in the legal world. In this case, however, being composed of local residents has backfired.
首を突っ込みたがらない。
They don't want to get involved.
それはなぜです?
Why is that?
なんて説明すればいいんでしょう。
How do I explain this?
恐れられているって言えばいいのかな。
You could say they're afraid.
あそこはね、少し特殊なんです。
Since it's a little special there.
特殊?
Special?
何か政治的なバックボーンが存在するということですか?
Is it an outcast community?
いえ、そういうのとは少し違うというか。
No. It's a little different from that.
まあ怖がられていると思ってください。
Well, just think of them as being afraid.
この辺りは口では少し説明しにくいんです。
It's a little hard to explain it just now.
ああ、そうだ。わかりやすいのがありました。
Alright. Here's an easier way. Wiping his forehead with a handkerchief, he opened a file labeled as a list of members of a Neonikufuchi Defense Alliance.
鬼ヶ淵死守同盟の勢力にはですね、
The power of the Onikafuji Defense Alliance, you see.
近隣の町々に強い影響力を持つ人間が多々おりまして。
Is the fact that they count many people among their members who are influential in neighboring areas.
この辺をご覧いただけますか?
Could you take a look at this? I looked. What I saw startled me. Prefectural and municipal assembly members, staff members of the Chamber of Commerce, an executive of a business association, an executive of a town council association, and a PTA liaison. There were more than a few people with a lot of say, both locally and in the neighboring regions.
この界隈では、Hinamizawaのダム反対運動は皆静観しているのが普通なんです。
Around here, you could pretty much expect your actions to be observed by those against the dam project.
ダムを肯定するような発言をすると、どこでどう巡って不利益を被るかわからない。
If you said something in its support, who knows how it'd work out to your disadvantage?
何しろ近隣の町の喉元はHinamizawa出身の人間が抑えていますからね。
In any case, every town in this area is being held by the throat by somebody from Hinamizawa.
検察審査員のリストは非公開でしょう。
The list of Inquisition committee members is undisclosed, isn't it?
報復がされないように何らかの措置が取られているはずでは。
There has to be some measures in place to make sure they'd avoid retribution, no?
一応非公開でプライバシーは守られてますがね。
Well, it is undisclosed, so their privacy is assured, but...
それを管理してるのは沖宮市役所の人間。
The person in charge of that is from the Okinomiya Municipal Office.
つまり地元の人間なんです。
A local.
守秘義務があるとはいえ、やはり人間のつながりは分かりませんからね。
While you might expect some professional confidentiality, you can't know how everybody is connected.
Hinamizawaの人間はそのあたりのつながりがことのほか強固ですから。
The people from Hinamizawa have a lot of tight bonds in that regard. When you consider the obligations and duties people have to the region, the web of information thereby formed is nothing to scoff at. It's not uncommon for housewives in a neighborhood to know which kid from which house is what grade in which school, what subjects they're good at, and what vegetables they hate, among other things.
それにほら、Hinamizawaと遅延の深い暴力団組織がありましてね。
You see, there's a Yakuza organization here with strong ties to Hinamizawa and the surrounding area.
これが今回の騒動に全面バックアップしてるらしいんです。
It would seem that they're providing full support in these recent incidents.
こちらが出てくるのが一番効いてるみたいですね。
They seem to be proving most effective.
暴力団
Gangsters?
ダムの建設反対で住民と一致
Signed together with the residents opposed to the construction of the dam.
どういう利害が一致するのか読みがたいですね。
It's a little hard to see what their common interest is.
それは難しいことじゃないです。
It's not that difficult at all.
実はですね、この暴力団の組長がですね、Hinamizawa村の出身なんです。
You see, actually, one of the lieutenants in that gang is originally from Hinamizawa.
村の重鎮の一人の婿養子にあたりまして。
He was adopted into a rather influential family in the village. Exactly what was it, this Hinamizawa? I had thought it was some desolate rustic village. However, for some reason they exerted a strong influence on the surrounding areas, and had a strong sense of unity. They would protect their village by any means necessary, even if that meant resorting to violence. The chief had said that they were afraid because there were numerous and influential people living there. But Somehow I got the feeling that they were afraid of the village itself. There was something clearly different from what I had read in the documents in Tokyo. This was no simple residential protest against the dam. For some reason, an uneasy feeling began to nestle itself in the back of my mind. I chose the most basic way to ask my question. In other words, I directly asked what I wanted to know.
室長。
Chief.
これは例えば仮の話ですが。
This is just a hypothetical situation, but...
はい。
Huh?
例えば、その鬼ヶ淵死守同盟が
This Onikafuchi Defense Alliance
ダム計画を頓挫させるため
In order to halt the dam project
例えば要人を脅迫するようなことは考えられますか
Do you think they could, say, threaten somebody important to accomplish that? The chief replied immediately.
あり得るでしょう。
It's possible.
事実、彼らは市役所や県庁、建設省の工事事務所にも押しかけ、恫喝まがいのことをしていますし。
Truth be told, they've already gone to municipal and prefectural offices, as well as local offices of the Ministry of Construction, and done things that could be construed as intimidation.
工事関係者の家族が不審者につけ回されたという事件も起こっています。
Several of the workers' families have also reported that they're being followed around by some suspicious people. Well, that would make sense. To halt progress on the dam, they raided the construction site, destroying heavy machinery and lighting the construction office on fire. If they didn't have any qualms about doing that, threats and violence against people related to the dam would probably be no problem. But that was it. Even your everyday hoodlum could use threats of violence. However, this time it was the kidnapping of the minister's grandson, an abnormally high-level crime. Not only was pulling off the kidnapping difficult in the first place, but so was maneuvering to have the minister surrender to their demands immediately. There was no way this was the work of amateurs. Did these people have the power to enact this large of a crime? That was the heart of the matter. Was the Onikafuchi Defense Alliance an organization capable of pulling this off? In order to ask that question, once again, I chose the most basic method.
例えば政府要人の関係者を誘拐して脅迫なんてことがあり得ると思いますか
Again, hypothetically, do you think they could kidnap a relative of someone of a political importance? There's no way they could pull off something that big. That was the answer I most hoped for. If it was that answer, my work was as good as halfway done. I might be able to get back in time for my wife to give birth. That was how it was supposed to be. The chief, without a hint of hesitation, replied,
やるかもしれません。
They just might.
そこの知れない連中ですから。
There's no telling how far they'd go. They'd destroy the rest of the whole damn world if it meant protecting their little village. They're that crazy. Sorry, Yukie. It seemed like my work wouldn't end so simply after all. And yes, I'm joking about that.
Oh, Akasaka-kunか。
Oh, Akasaka-kun.
ご苦労さん。
Good work.
担当地域での情報収集はどうですか？
How's the information gathering at your assigned region?
順調です。
It's coming along.
これから現地警察の公安と接触できることになりましたので、現地へ向かう予定です。
It seems I'll be able to meet with their local public safety department, so I'm planning on heading out that way.
東京の調査の方はどうですか？
How's the investigation in Tokyo going?
他の職員も順調に調査を進めているよ。
The others are progressing along, but
でも調べる団体が星の数だからね。
the number of groups we have to investigate are countless.
そんなに悠長に時間もかけられないし。
Time isn't really a luxury here. There were no new developments at this time. No matter how suspicious the Onikafuchi Defense Alliance was, if they solved the case in Tokyo, my job was done. It looked like my wishful thinking wouldn't come to pass. Hanging up on the phone, I let my gaze drift outside the window to the valley of unfamiliar buildings.
Akasaka-san.
Akasaka-san.
今、お貸しできる車が戻ってきました。
A car you can borrow just returned.
ご案内しますので、こちらへどうぞ。
I'll take you to it, so follow me.
あ、すみません。
Thank you. He showed me the elevator to the underground parking lot, where a battered sedan was waiting for me. That the steering wheel kept drifting to the left was a little concerning, but it would be enough to get me around for a while. My destination was Shishibone City, XX Prefecture. An area under the control of the Onikafuchi Alliance. The Yokinomiya police station was right on the front lines. Okinomiya XX Prefecture, Okinomiya Police Station. Shishibone City was, as far as provincial cities went, rather behind the times. Okinomiya, recessed in the mountains, was even more remote. With little change between the seasons, all that was left was the tepid passage of time. It made for a rather drab town. There were no tourist attractions or local delicacies. Without even a strong regional industry, it was simply dull. Just looking at the monotonous and peaceful townscape, it was hard to catch a glimpse of the radical resistance of the Onikafuchi Defense Alliance. The atmosphere of boredom didn't hint of the Okinomiya police station being on the front lines of the dam conflict, nor the numerous incidents that I heard about the prefectural headquarters. Good morning. Are you here to pay a fine?
いえ、公安部の本田屋さんにアポイントがあります。
No, I have an appointment with Hondaya-san from the Public Safety Division.
赤坂とお伝えください。
Please tell Mr. Akasaka.
失礼しました。少々お待ちください。
My apologies. Please wait a minute. The clerk, who thought I was here for a parking violation at first glance, after fumbling with the unfamiliar extension number, told the person on the line they had a visitor.
どうもどうも。
Welcome, welcome.
赤坂さんでいらっしゃいますか？縁のはるばるお疲れ様でした。
Akasaka-san, was it? It must have been tiring traveling out all this way.
こんな部屋で申し訳ありませんね。応接室を押さえてあったんですがね。
Sorry we have to do this here. I tried to reserve a reception room, you see.
議員さんが突然お越しになっちゃったんで追い出されちゃいまして。
But the counselor suddenly woke up and chased me out. I would hesitate to call where we were a conference room, as it was very small and cluttered. The cramped space was packed with lockers. I had an impression that it was more of a change room that doubled as one for smoking. Listening to his crude chortles, I didn't get much of a feeling that Hondaya, who was head of the local public safety division, was much of an intellectual. But I knew that, in exchange, he had both experience and absolute confidence in his instincts.
ご多忙中、突然お邪魔して申し訳ありませんでした。
I apologize for interrupting you during such a busy time.
警視庁から参りました。赤坂と申します。
I'm Akasaka from the Metropolitan Police Department.
よろしくお願いします。
Pleased to make your acquaintance.
公安部の本田屋です。
Hondaya from the Public Safety Division.
よろしくよろしく。
Nice to meet you.
県警防隊の3階部長から 協力を惜しむなと脅されておりますので。
I was threatened by Sankai from the prefectural gangbusters to be generous with my cooperation.
暴対
Gangbusters?
県警の暴力団対策本部ですか？
You mean the prefectural crime prevention division?
うちじゃ鬼ヶ淵支主の連中は暴力団の延長に位置づけてますんでね。
You see, we're treating the Onikafuchi Defense Alliance as an extension of the local Yakuza.
あれを善意の住民運動だなんてあんた、東城もいいとこですわ。
You have to be a newbie if you think they're just a residential protest group. They said at the prefectural office, too, that the Onikafuchi Defense Alliance was linked to the local mob. If I recall correctly, the adopted son of somebody influential was a lieutenant in that gang.
そりゃ逆。
It's the other way around.
全然逆ですよ。暴力団の活動があって、それに住民団体が大義名分みたいにくっついていると、そういう風に考えてください。
Complete opposite. The Yakuza put up the protest group as a front to justify their actions. Just think of it like that.
逆。
Completely the other way around. Handaya was just about rolling with laughter. This was slightly different than the info given to me at the prefectural office, but somebody embedded locally would be more knowledgeable. While we were talking, occasionally some people who seemed to be detectives would come in and change. One of those individuals, noticing Handaya's guffaws, came up to us.
何の話をしてるかと思えば。
Ushi, you've shrunk! That desk is huge next to you! You must have had to deal with a lot of growing pains leading up to the present day in the 1980s, huh? I was wondering what you guys were talking about.
おお、クラちゃん。
Oh, Kura-chan.
ちょうどよかった。クラちゃんも入ってよ。
Perfect timing. Why don't you join us?
こちら、はるばる東京の警視庁からお見えになった赤坂警部。
This here is Inspector Akasaka, who came all the way from the Tokyo Police Department, and now we officially meet, you and I.
警部だなんて。
Again. Inspector.
まだまだ新米です。
I'm still a rookie.
赤坂です。よろしくお願いします。
My name is Akasaka. Pleased to meet you.
初々しいのがいいですね。
I'm absolutely impressed, Uishi. You managed to say all of that with your mouth open and not moving your lips once. Can you teach me how to talk like that? I have a feeling that having a skill like that would actually be quite useful someday. It must be nice to be so fresh-faced.
採用は今年ですか？
Did they hire you this year? I couldn't help but think I was being ridiculed, so I only responded with a forced smile. I could tell that this new person was like Handia, the type who had confidence in their instincts and experience. I really didn't like those types of people.
赤坂さんにもご紹介します。
Let me introduce you, Akasaka-san.
こちらは刑事部の大石君。
This is Oushi-kun from our investigative department.
赤坂さんがお問い合わせの S 号の件なら彼が詳しいです。
Regarding the S file you were talking about, he's familiar with it.
S 号
S file?
園崎の S。
S for Sonozaki.
S 号ってのはですね、園崎家が関連している件を示す、まあ、暗号みたいなもんなんです。
If something is an S file, it means it has something to do with the Sonozaki family. It's something of a code name. Sonozaki. Come to think of it, I remembered when I was poring over the documents at headquarters, there were quite a few people with the last name Sonozaki popping up.
確か、園崎氏は鬼ヶ淵死守同盟の役員でしたね。
I remember right. There's a Sonozaki who is one of the executives of the Onikafuchi Defense Alliance.
確か会計だったと思います。
I'm pretty sure they're the treasurer. The two of them were surprised when I rattled off what post that Sonozaki held. After a moment, both of them erupted into laughter.
Akasaka-san でしたっけ?
Akasaka-san, was it?
あなた、お勉強家さんですね。
You're quite a studious one.
ひょっとして、同盟の連中の主要人物、全部暗記してるんじゃ?
Could it be you've memorized all the central figures in the Alliance?
暗記というほどではありませんが、一応、鬼ヶ淵死守同盟の幹部リストは一読しました。
I wouldn't say memorized exactly, but I've at least read the list of Onikafuchi Defense Alliance executives.
じゃあ、会長と副会長は?
Then, who are the president and vice president?
会長は、現hinamizawa村村長の君吉喜一郎氏。
The president is the mayor of Hinamizawa, Kichiro Kimiyoshi.
副会長は、町会神社部長の古出氏。
The vice president is the priest of local shrine, Farud.
会計が園崎を領して、会計監査は牧野氏。
The treasurer is Uryu Sonozaki. The auditor is Makino.
教頭部長が君吉義郎氏。広報部長が園崎貞夫氏。
The liaison is Yoshiroshi Kimiyoshi. The PR head is Sadio Sonozaki.
赤坂さん、あなたなかなかやりますね。
Akasaka-san, you're pretty good.
給料安いけど、うちに来ません?
The pay sucks, but you want to work here.
うちに一番必要で、一番いないタイプですよ。
You're just the type we're looking for.
で、ちなみに園崎貞夫は青年部長なんです。
By the way, Sadao Sonozaki is head of the youth department.
惜しいですね。広報部長は園崎忠孝。
So close. The head of public relations is actually Tadataka Sonozaki. Feeling like I wasn't being complimented at all, I started settling into an uncomfortable mood. However, I was becoming more and more aware that I was the weakest link in this investigation, so I just had to bear with it. I didn't mean for that feeling to show up on my face, but the crafty detectives didn't let that slip by.
バカにしたつもりはないんです。
I didn't mean to make fun of you.
お詫びと言っちゃなんですが、なんでしたら村を実際にご案内しましょう。
To make up for it, why don't I show you around the village? For somebody with no feel for the area like me, it would be a great help. I couldn't have asked for more.
鬼ヶ淵死守同盟ってのは、結局、hinamizawa村の対外的な別称に過ぎません。
In the end, the Onikafuchi Defense Alliance is nothing more than an alias Hinamizawa is using to deal with the outside world.
村を知ることが、あなたのお仕事の近道だと思いますよ。
I think getting to know the village would speed up your work.
いかがです?
How about it? The residential movement, in other words, held influence over the whole region. So the leader of the movement was the leader of that influence. Just like that, the thought processes in the region would become the overall personality of the movement. Just like Uushi had said, in order to learn what they were really like, this regional force behind the dam protests, getting to know the village was the quickest way.
よろしくお願いします。
If you would. Gnawing back without skipping a beat, Uushi laughed in satisfaction and stood up. If I took the information I learned at the prefectural office from Handaya to heart, If my position was exposed, my personal safety was at risk. The opponent was an extremist group that had no qualms about using threats or violence against somebody. If my personal info was leaked, it wouldn't be hard to imagine that I'd be in danger, whether on the job or not. It's also possible that your wife might be in danger too. Thinking that, I felt a little nervous.
連中は顔覚えるの早いですからね。
These guys are quick to remember faces.
私と一緒にいるところを見られると多分いろいろあなたのお仕事に差し支えると思います。
If you're seen with me, they'll probably do a lot to hinder your work.
月並みですがね、こいつを身につけておいてください。
This might be a little cliché, but put these on. Wuxi handed me an incredibly suspicious disguise, comprised of a baseball cap, sunglasses, and a mask. I didn't want to get all hot and stuffy, but Wushi's warning was probably right on the money. Considering that, I put them on with appreciation. I looked so suspicious that Wuxi had to smile wryly.
どこまで話しましたかね。
How much did I tell you again? Let's see.
御三家という旧家が村を支配しているというところまでです。
To the part where you were talking about how these three ancient families controlled the village. The Onigufuchi Defense Alliance was the same as the village of Hinamizawa itself. Meaning, there was a direct correlation between being an executive in the alliance and being a leader of the village, as Handia had told me a short time ago. If the village was ruled by three ancient families, then it would mean that the Onigufuchi Defense Alliance was ruled by those same three families.
県警の資料には何て書いてありました？
What did the documents at the prefectural office say?
死守同盟のリーダー格とかそういうことについて。
About the leader of the Defense Alliance or whatnot. The documents I was using were classified. If I respond to Ushi's question, it'd be a breach of security. However, most likely, this man, I judged, was more well versed in the situation than any of the documents at the prefectural police department, so I decided to answer him.
同盟の会長は現村長の君吉喜一郎と。
That the president of the alliance is the current mayor of the village, Kichiru Kimuyoshi. Wuxi, upon hearing that, let out a small chuckle. For him to ask like that, and to laugh at the answer as it was recorded in the documents, meant that wasn't the case in reality.
では、君吉氏以外の影の人物がいるということですね。
So then, that means there's somebody else other than Kimiyoshi behind the scenes.
県警の持つ、いや、一般的な情報とは異なり。
Contrary to what the prefectural office thinks, or rather, what is commonly known.
君吉のじいさんなんてただのお飾りですよ。
Old man Kimiyoshi is nothing more than a figurehead.
そもそもこの村じゃ、村長なんてポスト自体も形式だけなんです。
In the first place, the post of mayor in that village is nothing more than ceremonial.
つまり、同盟も村も本当の意味で支配している別の存在がいる。
In other words,
ということですね。
There's someone else in charge of both the alliance and the village. The Sonazakis.
それが先ほどおっしゃられていた御三家という存在ですか。
Would that be the three families we just talked about?
まあ、そのあたりはこれからご説明します。
Well, I'll explain that part right now. All of a sudden, with a thunk, the car suddenly lurched. The paved road had given way to a gravel one. At the same time, the scenery outside the window changed. The Hinamizawa Dam project must be withdrawn. Overthrow the shameless puppet of a governor. The dam will submerge the natural beauty of Hinamizawa. Protect the village from the unethical dam. Fear the wrath of Orishiro-sama's curse. Interesting. Talks of a curse going on even back here, before the murders started occurring. Demolish the dam. Those involved must go away. The construction office must respond. The construction office manager must negotiate with us. Signs and banners crowded the roadside. Even reading the brush-scrawled words was daunting. As though it were the road that, where the road just changed was a border for a different country. Why am I having trouble reading that? At that moment, I was startled by the car suddenly braking. Looking ahead, a barricade had been erected. About 5 or 6 protesters, wearing masks and helmets to hide their faces, were blocking the road, yelling at us angrily to stop. Now, people! It's very rude to yell angrily at a driver to stop. Yell at them nicely, and maybe then they'll consider. What is this? A checkpoint?
Huh?
These guys never learn. Uchi snorted as he rolled down the window and leaned out. Hey, you guys. You can't be blocking the road like this here. As Uchi glared at them with a malicious laugh, they visibly faltered. Clear the way. We can't get by like this. Who would have thought it was Uchi's car? That packed thought seemed to make them lose their presence of mind. If we had known it was your car, Detective Uchi, we wouldn't have been so rude. Detective, what happened to your usual car? Is it in for maintenance? Something like that. I just can't get used to this car they loaned me. Judging from their brief conversation, I could guess they were familiar with the license plate of the car Uchi normally used. In other words, they knew the car belonged to the police. If they knew the car belonged to the police, they would have hidden the barricade. What they were doing was obviously obstruction of traffic. A blatant crime. Who's that suspicious guy? Yo, could you show us your face? I have no obligation to show you my face. On whose authority do you work for? The man glared at me menacingly. Wearing a mask and sunglasses made me look particularly dubious. Would not showing my face get me into some unnecessary trouble? I turned to Uchi to see what I should do. Give him a break. He's still a shy little rookie. We just wanted to make sure he wasn't anybody suspicious. Hinamizawa has been in a bit of a stir as of late. Have you looked at yourself in the mirror? That mask you're wearing is way more suspicious. The men and Uchi continued to talk like that, feigning smiles at one another. However, from the beginning to the end, I couldn't get over the feeling I was sitting on a powder keg. Now, don't say anything stupid, Akasaka. Has the number of trucks illegally dumping still not decreased?
オタクたちも本当に朝晩大変ですね。
It's a real hassle dealing with it all the time.
警察の方にもご理解とご協力をいただけて助かりますよ。
If the police could understand and cooperate, it would really help. During that conversation, the barricade was moved, leaving the gap wide enough for a single car to get through. Ushi lightly honked the horn once, and began to roll the car forward. I could see the men's antagonistic glares at the back of the car in the rearview mirror.
何ですかさっきのは。
What was that just now?
勝手に行動を封鎖するなんて。
Blocking a public road like that.
もちろん犯罪ですよ。
Of course it's a crime.
目くじら立てても始まりませんがね。
Still, if you get worked up over that, it'll never end.
連中の主張じゃですね、村内に不法投棄をするトラックが出没するって言うんです。
Those guys, see, claim there's an infestation of trucks illegally dumping in the village.
それを封じ込めるために不審車両を検問してるって話だそうで。
Their story goes that in order to stop that, they're halting suspicious vehicles for inspection.
不法投棄
Illegal dumping? I wonder if Colonel Sanders has been dumped in here yet.
産廃を勝手に捨てようとする悪徳業者のことですか
Like corrupt contractors just tossing industrial waste away.
警察が何の手も打たないから自分たちで自衛するっていう論法でしてね。
Their line of argument is that if the police aren't going to do anything about it, they'll take matters into their own hands.
まあ産廃なんて話はどうせ自演だからどうでもいいんですがね。
Well, the industrial waste is just something they're doing by themselves anyways.
自演
By themselves.
連中うまい作戦なんですよ。
They have a pretty good strategy.
ダム現場にですね、工事妨害のために産廃ゴミを自分たちでばらまいてるんです。
You see, in order to hinder construction, they spread industrial waste over by the dam site.
で、それを悪徳業者のせいってことにして臨検を設置すると。
Then, blaming it on corrupt contractors, they started instituting these inspections.
それで工事車両をいちいち足止めしてチクチクと妨害してるってわけなんです。
There, they stop every construction vehicle coming through and interfere with them as much as possible. That actually is a pretty good strategy. Not gonna lie.
鬼ヶ淵死守同盟の抵抗運動の一つというわけですね。
So then, it's one of the methods that the Onikafuchi Defense Alliance is using.
多分今の検問でこの車のナンバーが割れましたからね。
With that inspection just now, this car's license plate has probably been recorded.
もうこの先には一切検問の真似事はないと思います。
It shouldn't get stopped from here on out.
連中も私を怒らせると得をしないことだけはよーく骨身に染みているようですからね。
Those guys know very well not to get me angry.
この車が工事関係車両だと知れるとですね。
Seriously though, Akasaka, you shouldn't get this man angry. He has a very firm grip. See, rumor is that if they figure a car is related to the construction in some way...
散々検問で足止めを食らうばかりか、投石や鉄釘のばらまきなんかも食らうって噂です。
Not only would there be checkpoints stopping it at every turn, but they'd be throwing rocks and planting road spikes as well.
あなたも身元が割れないようにせいぜい気をつけた方がいいですよ。
It's best you be careful so you're not identified.
公安なんてバレたらどんな目に遭うやら。
If they find out you're from public safety, who knows what you'll suffer through. Wushi was acting like we were talking about something fun, but for me it was no laughing matter.
なるでどこぞの内戦の国に迷い込んだような錯覚です。
It almost feels like we've wandered into a civil war in the Middle East. I think you're exaggerating a little bit, my friend.
あんた、そりゃうまい言い方です。
That's a good way of putting it.
今言われたのはまさにその通り。
It's pretty much just what you said. I don't know. I don't see a whole lot of artillery being used right now. Ushi turned to me with a grin and menacing laugh.
ここはね、戦争地帯なんですよ。
You see, this here is a war zone. The car slowed down a bit as it went down a narrow road through some farmland.
あそこの森の中に家があるのが見えます？
You see that house in that forest over there?
古い感じの。
That antiquated one. Looking at where Ushi was pointing, there certainly was an old, traditionally designed house.
あれが村長の君吉のじいさんの家です。
That belongs to the mayor, Old Man Kimiyoshi.
君吉本家とも言いますな。
You could say it belongs to the main Kimiyoshi house as well.
分家筋が多いですから。
There's a lot of branches, but
御三家の一つにあたります。
they'd be one of the three families.
御三家。
Three families.
hinamizawa村を支配している旧家ですね。
The ancient families that control Hinamizawa.
そうそ
That's right.
う。で、もう一つが古出家。
And one of the others is the Farood family.
こっちは分家どころか、もう神主一家しか残ってませんがね。
Their house doesn't even have a single branch, as all that's left is the head priest's family.
ちょうどあっちの方にね、神社がありまして。
Right over there, there's the shrine.
そこの神主をしています。
He's the priest there.
ちなみにね、死守同盟の事務所はその神社の敷地内にあります。
By the way, the Defense Alliance's office is on the grounds of that shrine. The office of the Onikafuchi Defense Alliance. If these guys were the enemy, that would make the shrine their stronghold.
そこを見ることはできますか？
Can we go look over there?
神社は古出家の私有地でね。
The shrine is the Farood family's private property, you see.
警察といえど、令状がないと踏み込めません。
Being police, we can't set foot there without a warrant.
電柱のバックには村の息のかかった議員もいますからね。
See, they got a member of the Diet with ties out to the village backing them up.
警察にも強いところと弱いところがあるってことです。
Basically, being the police has its strengths and weaknesses.
御三家とは言ってもですね。
Well, even when we talk about the three families,
そりゃだいぶ大昔のことなんだそうです。
that's something from a long time ago.
大昔はその御三家ってのは合議して村のいろいろなことを決めてたらしいですな。
Way back when, those three families used to hold councils to decide things about the village.
ということは、今は違うということですね。
Meaning, it's different now.
あんた、いちいち察しがいいですね。
You got a pretty good nose.
さすが高学歴。
That's what I expect from an academic. The car braked to a halt with a squeal. Ahead of where we were stopped were several signs. Private property beyond. No trespassing. Beware poisonous snakes. Danger, turn back. Intruders will be charged an entry fee of 1 million yen. Are we in front of the Sonozaki's house? This seems familiar. Signs were erected there with things like that written on them. The road was separated from the forest by a chain-link fence wrapped in barbed wire. Yeah, it's gotta be.
私有地なんで、ここまでです。
Since this is private property, this is as far as we go.
この先は監視カメラがいくつも仕掛けられてます。
There's several surveillance cameras set up further in.
うっかり道に迷いました。なんて論法が通じる相手じゃありませんからね。
Saying that we just got lost won't work with these guys.
この先がそうなんですね。
They're beyond here, right? The people currently controlling Hinamizawa and Onikafuchi Defense Alliance were neither the Kimiyoshi family nor the Farood family, but the last of the three. Yeah.
この先にあるのが御三家の一つ、園崎家。
Beyond here is one of the three families, the Sonozaki family.
南沢村を影から支配する連中です。
They're the ones controlling Hinamizawa from the shadows. Among the list of executives recorded in the documents, the number of people with last names from the three families was quite high. Of course, Sonozaki was no exception. However, at the top was the Kimiyoshi family. If the Kimiyoshi family seemed to be in charge, the rulers behind the scenes were the Sonozaki family. This double-layered structure implicitly told me that this village had both a light and a dark side.
園崎家の頂点は現当主の園崎お涼っていうばあさんです。
The current head of the Sonozaki family is an old lady named Uryu.
園崎天皇なんて呼ばれるくらいにその発言には影響力があるそうです。
She has enough clout that you could call her Empress Sonozaki.
気をつけてくださいよ。大物です。
Be careful. She's no small fry.
市長だって最敬礼でお迎えするような VIP ですからね。
She's enough of a VIP that even the mayor of the city has to bow before her.
まあ、南沢と周辺の町に住む村の親族の数千の評伝を固めてるわけですから、政治家は頭上がらないんでしょうが。
Well, in Hinamizawa and the surrounding area, their relatives amount to a block of several thousand votes. No politician could show disrespect for that.
つまりその人物が鬼ヶ淵死守同盟の事実上のトップということですね。
In other words, that would make her the actual leader of the Onikafuji Defense Alliance, right?
そうなります。
You've got it. With those words, Uushi pulled out a well-worn cigarette box. The suspected kidnapping of the minister's grandchild and subsequent threats. Were these part of the hidden plot by the Onikafuji Defense Alliance in order to have the Hinamizawa Dam project cancelled?
あなた、東京からはるばる調べにいらしたんですよね。
You came all the way from Tokyo to investigate this, didn't you? Huh?
ええ。
Yeah.
そうですか。
That's right.
何か
Something the matter?
じゃあほら、あれだ。
Then.
犬飼大臣への直訴事件の絡みですかな。
Is it related to that direct appeal incident with Minister Inugai?
要するに、あれで要注意団体ってことで公安がマークすることになったと。
If that's the case, then public safety has them marked on a watch list. You don't miss a beat, Uushi.
そういう感じですか。
Something like that.
大石さんこそお察しが早くて助かります。
Having you guess that so quickly makes this easy. While exhaling out cigarette smoke, Uushi smiled broadly, like I just pulled a good one on him. Or so I thought. His smile disappeared suddenly.
嘘でしょ。
That's a lie, isn't it?
だから、直訴事件でマークがついたっての。
I mean, the direct appeal putting him on a watch list.
嘘でしょ。
That's a lie, isn't it? What the hell was I even talking about with him being on... being spot on with anything? My head must be in the clouds today. Uushi knew there was no way that Tokyo HQ would dispatch an investigator over something as minor as a direct appeal. If they were to dispatch someone, it had to be for a more dire reason. He had figured out as much. I thought of myself as the type of person who doesn't let things show in their face. In front of his watchful gaze, however, I felt what I was thinking was completely laid bare. Uushi silently lit another cigarette, as if waiting for me to interject during this awkward pause. I see. So this was a veteran detective's way of getting someone to spill information. But, as long as I realized this, there would be nothing more. If I didn't open my mouth, I wouldn't have to lose anything. all I had to do was stare out the window and enjoy the scenery until Ushi gave up. That must have been a real long hour or two you had to sit through. You poor bastard.
あなたって人は本当に隠し事が下手な人ですね。
You really are bad at hiding things, you know.
そういう素直で初々しいの悪くないな。
Being so young and earnest isn't so bad. Ushi smirked as he twisted out his third cigarette, while I tried not to let him notice that I had yielded completely. At first I thought I had won, but at the very least Ushi had ascertained that I was hiding something. Meaning that I might have ended up marching to his tune. Ushi started up the engine once again, and began to move the car.
素直なところを教えてくれりゃ、もっとお力になれると思ったんですがね。
If you'd just been honest with me, I thought I might have been able to help you.
素直に話したら
How would you
どう
help?
力になれるんです？
If the cat was out of the bag, I might as well use it to catch some mice.
内容によりけりですがね。Hinamizawa界隈に詳しい情報屋に引き合わせてあげてもいいですよ。
Well, this depends on what we're talking about, but I might be able to set you up with someone who's knowledgeable about the goings-on in Hinamizawa.
協力員ですか？
An informant.
そっか。あんたらはそう呼ぶんでしたね。
I see. Is that what you call it?
どうして私の任務に興味を？
Why are you so interested in my case?
大石さん。
Ushi-san.
そりゃあんたと同じです。
Well, I'm the same as you.
常に知るのが私たちの仕事じゃありませんか。
Isn't it our business to know things? Being able to meet with Ushi's informant was an extremely compelling opportunity. We were looking to recruit somebody unfamiliar with the area to collaborate for intelligence. In the end, there was no better method for finding people than asking. We were always taught, however, that the rank-and-file police were no better than monkeys. How elitist. Unlike us, they were careless with confidential cases. We looked down on them like they'd run their mouth off in a drunken stupor. Ushi was an outlaw even amongst them, and here I was lost in whether or not I should tell him about the kidnapping of the minister's grandson.
その情報協力員はどの程度鬼ヶ淵自主同盟に精通を？
This informant. Exactly how knowledgeable are they about the Onikafuchi Defense Alliance?
あんたも公安の人間ならわかるでしょう。
If you're from public safety, you'd know, wouldn't you?
そんなの私の口からたとえあなたにだって話せるわけないじゃありませんか。
Something like that is something I can't just tell you. Protect your sources. That was the first principle of dealing with confidential information. In that regard, it seemed that Ushi wasn't one of those monkeys. Should I trust him? Ask for his help? Or not?
あなたは国。私は金に雇われてますがね。
It's just that you work for the feds, and I work for the prefecture.
私たちの職務はそう大きくは違わないと思っています。
I don't think that our jobs are that different.
力になれると思うんですがね。
I think I can be of help. However, I had trouble believing that this crafty old man would simply help me just like he claimed. Now, how should I go about this?
大石さんほどの方が無償で力になってくださるとはちょっと思いがたいですが。
I find it hard to believe that someone of your standing would help me out without strings attached.
そりゃ下心がないわけじゃないです。
Well, it's not like I'm completely without an ulterior motive.
あんたらは確か 協力員に支払える謝礼用の予算を持ってますよね。
As I recall, you guys have space in your budget allocated to pay informants, right?
領収書不要な予算を。
Something you don't need to submit a receipt for.
そいつでですね、情報屋との接触にかかるコストをちょいと。
Just a little bit of that would be the cost of meeting with the informant.
つまり情報屋と渡りをつける謝礼をあなたにお支払いしろということですね。
In other words, give the compensation earmarked for the informant to you first.
取引内容が明快で助かります。
Well, it helps that the details of this deal are so clear-cut. He certainly was something else for being able to brazenly state his ulterior motive like this. Rather than him doing this out of the kindness of his heart, everything was a lot clearer if he was being compensated for this deal. I felt that he was the type of man who was good at these backroom dealings.
誤解しないでくださいよ。
Don't misunderstand me, please.
お金が必要なのは私にじゃなくて情報屋になんですからね。
It's not me who needs the money. It's the informant, okay?
まあ支払いの関係上、お金は私が預かりますがね。
Well, in regards to the payment, I'll be handling the money.
支払いはいつ？
When do you want it?
今すぐがいいですね。
Right now would be good.
ないなら明日でもいいんですよ。
If you don't have it on you, tomorrow works as well. I pulled out a wallet that was different from my personal one. The price was pretty much fixed depending on what kind of information I was paying for. In this case, the payment was up front. Also, considering the fact I didn't know what kind of info I would get, I shouldn't pay too much. When I suggested that, Wushi suddenly stretched out his hand and tightly grasped the contents of the wallet.
こういう時はですね、ケチケチしない方がいいんです。
At times like this, it's best to not be so stingy. Don't take everything in there.
大丈夫、大丈夫。損はさせませんから。
It's alright. It's alright. It won't go to waste.
わかりました。
I understand.
ケチケチしないことにします。
I won't be stingy.
で、
And
調べたい情報は何です？
what kind of information are you looking for?
内容によって多少アプローチが変わることもありますので。
Depending on what you want, how we approach this will probably change.
他言無用を誓ってもらえますか？
You swear you won't spread this information to anybody else.
大石さん。
Wushi-san.
誓うまでもありませんよ。
I can't swear as much.
私もあなたたちと同じ。
I'm the same as you.
職務上知り得たことは他言できませんからね。
I can't withhold information obtained during the course of my duties.
わかりましたよ。
I got it. I swear.
ここで聞くことは他言無用です。
Nothing here gets said anywhere else.
それに、あなたのおかげで溜まってたツケを全部返せるんですからね。
On top of that, thanks to you, I can pay back what I owe from my Mahang debts.
私は少なくとも金の絡んだ約束は絶対に違いませんよ。
In any case, I won't break a promise that involves money. How reassuring. I was still unsure if I should trust him until the last moment. But in the end, I broke down. Wushi wasn't the type of guy I could trust 100%, but there was no mistaking he had access to underground information networks. In order to accomplish my mission swiftly, I needed his cooperation. I set my resolve.
鬼ヶ淵主導名がある事件に関与しているか否かを調査しています。
I'm investigating whether or not the Onikafuchi Defense Alliance is related to a certain incident.
ある事件？
Certain incident.
犬飼建設大臣が何者かに脅迫を受けている可能性があります。
There's a possibility that the Minister of Construction, Inugai, is being coerced by someone.
可能性とはまた遠回しな言い方ですね。
Saying there's a possibility is kind of a roundabout way of putting it.
大臣の近辺に内通者がいるらしいのです。
It appears there's a mole close to the minister.
その内通者によって高度に監視されているらしく、大臣は脅迫初期から屈服している様子です。
And due to that mole, the minister had been monitored quite thoroughly, and was seemingly forced to cede to their threats right away.
警察へも我々へも一切通報していません。
None of this was reported to us or the police.
なるほど。
Let's see.
だから脅迫を受けている可能性という言い方になると。
So that's why you're saying there's only a possibility he's being coerced.
だとすると妙ですね。
In that case, isn't it a little strange?
大臣が誰にも通報しないなら、どうしてあんたらは事件を知ったんです？
If the minister didn't report this to anybody, how did you guys know about this incident? If we didn't spy on the minister's private life, we would never have found out.
その説明は私が情報屋に提供する必要がないと思われるので割愛します。
I don't think we have to provide that explanation to the informant, so I'm omitting it. Ushi had apparently caught on, and quietly chuckled when I refused to explain.
なるほど。
I see.
大臣の近辺にスパイがいるらしいから、公安だけの極秘調査ということになったわけですか。
There's a spy close to the minister, so public safety made it a highly classified investigation.
そりゃ確かに穏便な話じゃないですね。
That certainly isn't a very amicable story, is it?
ことを公にすれば、大臣の政治生命も含め、政変に発展する可能性は極めて高いでしょう。
If this matter became public, not only would this affect the minister's political career, but the possibility of there being a shift in the political landscape is extremely high.
犯人グループの目的がそこにあるならば、有識事態に発展する可能性があります。
If the perpetrator's aim is indeed that, then this could develop into a very grave situation.
政府の劣等改造は、まあいろいろ方々との衝突も多いらしいですからね。
Well, with the government having development projects all over the country, they butt heads with quite a few people.
どんなささやかなケチでも一つつけば、野党勢力がドット票を伸ばす可能性もあると。
It wouldn't take much wrongdoing for the left-wing parties to suddenly garner more support.
大臣がどのような要求を受けているのかは、現在調査中です。
We're currently investigating what demands are being forced on the minister.
ですが、脅迫の方法だけは、ほぼ分かっています。
But at least we have a good idea of how he's being threatened.
なんです？
How?
大臣の孫の誘拐です。
The minister's grandson was kidnapped.
周辺は否定していますが、最後の目撃から見て、すでに誘拐後72時間が経過していると思われます。
They're denying it, but judging from when he was last seen, it is believed it's already been over 72 hours since the kidnapping.
3日ですか。
So, 3 days.
波の身代金目的ならもう決着してますね。
If they were just after ransom money, this would have been settled by now.
金銭でなく、大臣に何らかの政治的なアクションを要求している可能性が極めて高いでしょう。
It may be this isn't for monetary gain. The possibility that they're forcing the minister to do something politically is extremely high.
それを我々は黙認するわけにはいきません。
That's something we just can't consent to.
で、それの犯人グループとの可能性として、鬼ヶ淵死守同盟がリストに上がったわけですね。
So then, the Onikafuchi Defense Alliance was listed as one of the possible perpetrators.
そうです。
That's correct.
大臣の孫を誘拐して、ダム計画の撤回を求めるか。
Kidnap the minister's grandson and demand the cancellation of the dam project. In a nutshell, that's what it is, Oushi.
どうでしょう、大石さん。
What do you think, Oushi-san?
その可能性はあなたから見てあり得ると思いますか？
From your point of view, do you think that's possible? Oushi seemed to ponder the idea for a while. The section chief at the regional office had responded immediately with, "It's possible." However, Oushi, who was this well informed about the matter, was hemming and hawing. Finally, just a little bit. He said something that was really just a little bit strange.
明治前まではですね。
This was before the Meiji era, you see.
この辺りはhinamizawa村って名前じゃなくて、鬼ヶ淵村って呼ばれてたそうです。
This area wasn't named Hinamizawa Village back then. It was called Onikafuchi.
うちのばあ様の受け売りですがね。
This is just what I heard from my grandmother. This topic was so completely and suddenly unrelated to the subject of the kidnapping of the minister's grandson that I was slightly taken aback.
鬼ヶ淵村。
Onigafuchi.
それで鬼ヶ淵主導名という名称になったわけですね。
Oh. So that's why they're called the Onigafuchi Defense Alliance.
鬼ヶ淵村ってのはですね、人食い鬼の住む村だと言われてたんだそうです。
You see, the village of Onigafuchi was said to be inhabited by demons that devoured humans.
今でも村人は自分の体に鬼の血が半分流れてると信じてます。
Even now, it's believed that the blood of these demons partially courses through the veins of the villagers.
人食い鬼。
Demons that devour humans.
大石さん、それ何の話ですか？
Wushi-san, what are you saying?
情報ですよ、情報。
It's information.
さっきあなたからたくさんもらっちゃいましたからね。
I got a lot from you just now.
少しもらいすぎました。
A little too much.
その分サービスしてあげてるんですよ。
In exchange, I'm giving you a little freebie. Wushi finally smiled, but it didn't seem like he was fooling around.
先を続けてください。
Please continue.
人食い鬼たちはですね。
You see, these human-devouring demons.
普段は仙人と崇められてひっそりと暮らしているんですがね。
Normally they're revered as Taoist transcendents and lived tucked away from the rest of the world.
やっぱり人食いですから定期的に麓の村に降りてきては獲物をさらっていったんだそうです。
But they ate people after all. So apparently they go to the villages in the foothills regularly and abduct their prey.
それをですね、鬼隠しと言いまして。
They used to call that being demoned away, or onikakushi. Demoned away. It was the first time I heard such a peculiar phrase. However, I felt something slightly ominous from this horrifying tale of demons abducting people in order to eat them.
ほら、よく世間一般に神隠しっていうのがあるじゃないですか。
Look, you know how there's the common phrase spirited away.
人がある日突然失踪してしまうとそう言うでしょ。
When people suddenly go missing one day, they call it that.
この辺りでは同じことがあると鬼隠しって呼ぶんです。
When the same thing happens around here, they call it being demoned away.
その昔話と本件に何か関係が？
How does that old tale relate to the matter at hand?
いえいえ。
Oh no.
直接的には何の関係もない。ただのおしゃべりですがね。
There's no direct relationship. I'm just making some small talk here.
ただ。
It's just... Ka-thump, ka-thump. Car shook. At some point, the gravel road had changed to a paved one.
ただ、何です？
It's just what?
この土地に鬼隠しという名の失踪、誘拐を暗示するキーワードがある。ということだけはお話ししておこうと思いまして。
That around here, the phrase demoned away is somewhat of a code for disappearances and kidnappings. I just thought I'd mention that.
今回の大臣の孫の誘拐と関係あるかはわかりませんがね。
I don't know if this has anything to do with the kidnapping of the minister's grandson.
まあ、深い話ではないんです。
Well, there's no deep meaning behind it.
そんな言われの話があるということだけでもね。
It's just there's that little bit of history. Onikakushi. Human-eating demons coming down to the foothills and abducting their prey. Then, in order to cancel the dam project that threatened to submerge the village they lived in, did they demon away the minister's grandson? Then, had they already made an example out of the minister's grandson and eaten him alive?
ちょっと興味深い昔話ですね。
It's a bit of an interesting old tale, isn't it?
鬼たちの村にみだりに踏み入れば、たちまち囚われ食い殺される。
If you set foot in the demons' village without reason, you'll promptly be captured and eaten alive.
だから鬼ヶ淵村には近づくな。
So don't go near Onigafuchi.
今時の若者はこんな迷信信じませんがね。
Kids these days might not believe such superstitions.
沖宮の明治生まれの年寄り連中には今でも真面目に信じてるのが多いですよ。
But amongst the older folk in Okinomiya born in the Meiji era, many would never question these warnings. Hinamizawa village was feared by the people in the area. I recalled that piece of information I heard from the prefectural public safety division.
何しろこの辺は田舎ですからね。
In any case, we're in the boonies out here.
迷信なんかが平気で幅を利かせてるんです。
It's kind of expected that there'd be some superstitions around.
東京から来られた赤坂さんにはちょっと想像もつかないでしょうがね。
Somebody from Tokyo like you, Akasaka-san, probably couldn't even begin to imagine it, could you? The man-eating demons, as a price for violating the sanctity of their village, kidnapped the minister's grandson and swallowed him whole. That ludicrous idea flew through my head. It was so absurd, I was half disgusted with myself. I wish he was just teasing me. Stupid. It was all really so stupid. If only you knew some of the crap that's gonna happen 5+ years from now. But, well, what's undoubtedly gonna start soon, I mean. Come to think of it, by then, I may have already been seized by the curse of that dubious village. For me to realize that would take a little more time. Tips unlocked. Phone call with Yukie, record of opening remarks, gears and fire, taste of honey, and I couldn't read that last one. So, we're basically playing as a public safety guy who comes to investigate the kidnapping of of this guy's grandson during the Dam Wars. So that probably tells me we're gonna see, well, the whole deal with what actually happened maybe with the grandson in question, this particular kidnapping incident, and also actually see the curse start proper. Like I said before, I'm actually quite interested to see how this all plays out. Anyway, I think I'm just going to go ahead and cut things off here. I didn't really have a whole lot to say throughout this whole chapter, but a lot of this was based on information I kind of already knew about from previous chapters, so I felt like there really wasn't a whole lot I could honestly say. But regardless, if you enjoyed this first episode of Higurashi When They Cry Chapter 4, and you want to see more content from me, feel free to subscribe to my channel. Now next time, we'll take a look at the tips I unlocked, and then we'll start the next part of Chapter 4. Anyway, I hope you all have a good day and take care.